Kristy Kennedy here in studio at TMG360 with Joe Mullings. Happy to be here, Joe.
Good to see you, Kristy. It's good to have you in town.
In person. We're far away. You're still in Florida. I'm still in Arizona.
Yep, there's the line. There's the
Right.
dividing line, the time zone, right?
Exactly.
You guys are crazy in Arizona. You don't switch your clocks back.
We do not. We do not. Arizona and Alaska, I think, still, and possibly Indiana, I think, went
That's right.
to
That's
non.
right.
Yeah,
Because
so.
they used to have a line down the middle of the state, which was really confusing.
Yeah, but it's great not to be able to switch time zones. So when we do travel, what time is it now in my world?
Yeah. Well, it's great to have you in town, and we had the whole team here this week in Delray Beach. So Jamie, Miguel, although Kayleen called it in.
Kayleen called in.
Yep.
She's following her guidelines, which is absolutely perfect, you know, but we had a great first team meeting with 360.
Yeah.
So exciting things that we're doing.
Yeah, and you and I have been talking about how do we explain TMG360 Media to the world, right? We know what we can do, we know what we're not. So we're not an agency,
No.
we're not a PR firm, yet
No.
we have the capabilities of both of those.
Exactly.
Right, we've got a full studio, we've got full media team,
Right.
we've got editing suites, we've got offices in Arizona, Los Angeles, here in South Florida. We've got partners with Jamie Hurley and Miguel, who are deep in the PR agency
30
world. Right?
years.
30 years.
30-year background in deep within PR, entertainment, media outreach is unbelievable to me. The outreach of doing this for 30 years. I mean, being able to get sets of eyes through media, as we've talked about over the years, is difficult. It's not just about social media outreach,
That's
right? It's about agency outreach. It's about having publicists that basically are at your beck and call, at your disposal. We've had many discussions about this over the weeks that, you know, our current client base, you come on as a client of 360, you've got 10 to 15 people on a daily basis that are touching your company, moving your company directionally with where we see it needs to fit based on your initiatives and what you would like to achieve, whether that's over 3 months or a 6 month or a 1 year time span.
That's right.
So it's really exciting.
Yeah, and we're bringing in. You bring up a great point as we become a partner inside the firm. So we've got example like Dan Rose at LimFlow. Right?
Great company.
Yep.
Fantastic company. A lot of story behind LimFlow is, I think, the most important thing in the not just the technology, but a lot of history with that company. It's a long-standing. They're going through Series D raise later this year, which will be exciting. So we're helping them with that process in creating not only just video, but an entire campaign to position LimFlow where they want to be. And it's also, you know, getting what I enjoy, as you enjoy also, Joe, is working with these startups and the way that we get to work with these startups. And I've always kind of sat on the outskirts of that in connecting people, sure. You know, I love doing that, connecting startups to investors, but to be able to help them in a different way in this capacity of what 360 does is extremely important. I love it.
And it's great because we've got different clients, like really partners, because they bring us in and they get the power of full media studios, of big PR firms, but more importantly, a distribution network that is unlike any. Between
None.
your 3 decades in connecting investors and startups, I think on the biggest stage in medtech, for sure, it's fair to say that you were on the biggest medtech stage of connecting investors and startups. And myself, over 30 years in connecting talent and investors and startups.
Right.
And we've got in excess now of 200,000 sets of eyes on us every day, which then becomes an asset for that unknown startup.
Right.
Or even mildly known startup that we can help flex either for financing, which we've done successfully, getting them in front of potential M&A, clinical trial activities and recruiting in those areas.
Yes.
Sits as a vice chair in the TMG companies, Rick Jeffreyon,
Right.
who is a serial winner in startups across the board.
Just a little bit.
And so you have all of these people sitting at the table for you,
Yeah.
dialing in exactly what you need when you're that emerging tech startup.
In in obviously a 360-degree view.
That's right.
You know, having that kind of access to someone like Rick Jeffron, just for a second, that has created multiple companies, has sold them, has gone through the process probably more than most of the entrepreneurs that are out there. Who can give you that kind of access?
Right.
I don't know many agencies that could do that. And have him, you, myself, as well as Kayleen and Jamie and Miguel, who sit on the Lobeline side, having this full picture of everybody that is basically helping your company. I don't know of any other agency or firm that could do that.
Yeah, and it's funny because you said agency, then you double clutched because we've created a new category.
We're trying to create a new category,
It's
exactly.
a brand new category. And when you sit at the table, and it's fun when we do the intake, and like Proximie is another client, Nadine
Right.
Hashasharam and her team, you know, we sat with Nadine and said, there's no doubt that Proximie as a telehealth solution is a winner. Nadine, though, we need to help the industry by making you the voice of that category. And Nadine has done that extraordinarily well with us as a partner doing that. She is in the midst of raising a round, which I think is going to be pretty successful. She certainly has got the attention of all the strategics who have hired Proximie. And so when you sit at the table and we listen to what you're trying to do, you've got, to your point, your vantage point, my vantage point, Rick's point of view, Lobeline's point of view, and we can offer solutions with the tools we have and the insights into the market that we have that I don't believe that there's any other organization that can do that.
That might not catch those things.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? It's not just about hiring a PR agency because you need to populate press releases out on the wires. That's one facet.
Sure.
But there's many other facets and many other details. I think also, Joe, what we've seen is, you know, a lot of companies that want to get into media relations and get broader, right? A very broad scope. But they want it now. They want it immediate. And what we've learned is this is a process. I mean, you've got to build this up. You've got to build the awareness. Proximie is a perfect example of that. And how you've helped take Proximie, which is a fantastic technology, but how you've helped them take that forward. That's exciting things to do for smaller companies as well as other companies that we have, like Life Science Intelligence. You know, correct, this is a conference business and market research company, very different from LimFlow, very different from a Proximie client, but being able to look at a client and really fully understand what it is that they do and how we can help them over a process of time to build that up with 200,000 sets of eyes and a media
Machine.
universe.
Yeah, and again, you know, the LSI is interesting is that would be an unconventional customer for an agency or a PR firm, but I think you were the queen and king of putting on shows forever. So if anybody understood the subtleties in there and the pressure points, it would be your previous experience.
Yeah.
And then the ability for our firm to reach out and touch those people who may want to be looking at that show. And we did that one. I'm very proud of what we accomplished with LSI and Scott in the middle of a pandemic. He's crushed his numbers.
Yeah, unbelievable. That conference is just taking off. And I think as we get closer, again, the dates are May 11th through the 13th, as we get closer to having that event, more vaccinations are happening, more people are going to want to get out, they're going to want to network. And I believe this is the first in-person event in our industry right now.
Yeah, and so the things that we're able to do at TMG360 Media is we've done LinkedIn Live for our clients and having thousands of eyes in front of them. It's almost like being on network TV. And again, we've got 150, 200,000 sets of eyes on us every day in medtech. So LinkedIn Live, the ability to bridge, we had clients in Australia, London, the US, and California, and then bridge via our capabilities here and create videos and pieces for clients that were shut down during COVID. And we don't even need to be shut down in COVID. Economics make it more sensible.
Absolutely.
Right? And then the ability to continue to connect investors together through LSI. And it's because of our insinuation into the industry. And yet, when you and I sat and spoke years ago about this, you know, there needs to be this service. And I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but you and I and the team are in the middle of a product right now. So you've been working on a product, and we've put some bones on it the last few days here.
We have.
And how would you best describe it? Keeping it as stealth as possible right now, because our industry knows the word stealth.
It is stealth. We want to keep it stealth for the moment. I mean, this is an idea and opportunity that we've been playing around with for quite some time, actually, over the past couple of years. But a different way to continue to connect startup companies with investors. And COVID has really taught us that, right? We weren't able to go to conferences. We weren't able to participate that way. We did a lot of virtual meetings. I think a lot of people got virtual burnout, you know, after a while and sitting there. So how's a different way that we can connect people and do that 365 days per year? So that is upcoming. And I'm excited about the details about that, and being able to offer our community and ecosystem this particular idea and product will be really, really great for the industry.
And I love it without going any deeper on it. I love it because it is by far the most intimate opportunity for cash-strapped startups to appear in front of venture partners or potential venture partners 24/7, 365, as you said, in a way that they used to have to get on a plane. They used to have to spend mad money and hope and beg for an appointment with that venture person at a particular show. So we won't go any deper than that, but I'm excited.
Just knowing that both of us are visionaries, and we want to create something that's different, that most people, you know, have never seen before. That's the idea.
That's right. And then the other project we are working on right now, you and I, we were busy last night.
We were.
Over at the Breakers Hotel down here in Palm Beach, on the island of Palm Beach.
Such a fantastic location. I mean, I could not imagine having a better setting within down here in Florida, outside of, you know, is that in West Palm?
That's in Palm Beach, on the island of Palm Beach. Yeah.
I mean, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful location. And being able to set something up again that is new for the industry. Very excited about possibly doing that later on in 2022.
Yep. So we're shooting for the first half of 2022, and just again, a tease is, think about like a Davos. We probably are not going to have any of the strategics there. They might have to look from the outside in. We will have the intention is to have a full media studio there. The show itself will not be necessarily documented, but there will be one day where we will document it and beam it out live for some pretty, I'd say, deep thought on this entire transition that's happening right now in the medtech, health tech world. And the intention here is we want to be focused on this transition that's occurring on digital, on telehealth, on the consumerization of medtech, on the convergence of passive monitoring in the home to manage the 18% GDP crushing weight that's on our country right now. And 80% of that spend is towards chronic diseases. So we are going to bring in some of the deepest thinkers. I can't tell you who's going to be on the list, but they will not be your conventional, dais that we have sat through respectfully on where medtech has been.
Right.
This is where we believe medtech is going.
Which is our tagline, correct?
That's right.
Moving health tech forward.
Moving health forward.
Moving health forward.
Right.
Exactly.
TMG360, moving health forward. Because it is a convergence of technologies, initiatives, and stakeholders in it. So I'm excited.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you and I have had this cooking for 3 decades each, and we finally get a chance to have it manifested in TMG360 Media.
It's so exciting to do that. I am super thrilled to be a part of it. We're going to have a lot of fun this year.
We are.
So we invite everyone to come take a look at us, tmg360media.com. reach out to us. If you want more information, we're happy to talk to anybody. Take a look at your company. If you got an interesting story, you have something that you want to tell, we're interested in talking.
And we will be out at the LSI conference in May, as Kristy had mentioned earlier on in, so we'll be in person there. So if you're going to be there, look us up. And in the meanwhile, reach out via email, in-mail, telephone, any of it. So thanks for sort of bringing us out today, Kristy.
Thank you, Joe.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
You got it. This is Joe Mullings, TMG360 Media. Be well.